Hey guys, Brian here with Thunder Laser USA. This is going to go over safety data sheets, and hopefully you've heard that before. Hopefully we've told you to reference them on certain materials, especially if we don't know their composition. So we're developing this article. It's already on. We're going to add some more to it. In this article at the bottom, there'll be some of the resources like the examples that I'm going to show and things like that. So I'm going to take this for instance, because we get asked this a lot. Can you laser cut this like Oracal 651 vinyl, PVC or vinyl graphics film? So this is the safety data sheet for Oracal 651. You notice it's a little outdated. Probably hasn't changed, or at least not enough for them to reissue a document. So the first part will identify it, and then you'll have some hazard identification. And if you'll look through here, everything looks pretty benign. It's considered exempt from hazard classification. We're going to come back to composition here in just a minute. I'm just going to go through all the sections of a typical SDS sheet real quick. First aid, firefighting information, that one we're going to come back to as well. Accidental release, handling and storage, PPE, and then all the properties, if there's any reactions that can happen or whatever, stability, toxicological information. So there's a lot of stuff here, and I know it may look a little overwhelming at first glance, but if you look at this stuff, it says the ingredients are proprietary polymers, proprietary colorant. So they're all veiled with proprietary, right? So they don't have to say exactly what they are. And if you'll look, first aid is usually not necessary. In case of fire, just extinguish. If they thought this was dangerous, it may say something like firefighters use, full SCBA, PPE turnouts and everything, which is common practice anyway. Accidental release it is important. The PPE is here. Now, the thing about it is, nowhere in here do you see PVC. It says it's stable and non-reactive. There's not really any exposure routes to inhalation. This is untrue in the case of laser processing. That's going to make smoke. It's going to make particulates. There's going to be byproducts, from the lasing process. And it can get on your skin. It can get in your eyes. You can eat it if you have it on your hands and put your hands in your mouth, and you can inhale it. So this is way more important when you're talking about doing a process on this that it's not really intended for. This is made for a plotter, with a blade on it typically. So those are the kinds of things that you need to look for, because this all looks innocuous. Everything, flammability, everything is no special hazards, all of this stuff. But if we go look at what Oracal 651 is on their site, it's a PVC film. Now, if we go look up PVC and have a look at their data safety sheet, or safety data sheet rather, here's PVC. And we'll just go through here and look at some of the stuff. It does give, actual things. Inhalation, remove to fresh air. See, everything is quite different here. If breathing is irregular or stopped, give artificial respiration. So this stuff sounds a lot more menacing. Remove contaminated clothing, wash thoroughly. Now, the fire stuff, the extinguishing and the special hazards, this is going to be really important. Hazardous decomposition, and it tells you everything that it gives off. The hydrogen chloride mixes with the moist air and makes hydrochloric acid, and that's what makes your laser rust when you cut PVC in it. And the fumes are very toxic, very toxic. There's very specific things in here on how to handle it. You'll notice there's a lot more real information in it. So don't just go look at the one you find with your manufacturer and it says proprietary and you overlook it and say, oh, that looks good. Because underneath it could be some nasty stuff. Now, one thing going for this film is that it's really thin. When you do lase it, very minimal byproducts are created, right? Unless you take a match to this stuff and literally catch it on fire and get a whiff of that smoke. Now that'll kill you. But you know, still you need to take those precautions and understand that what you see in one of these safety sheets that's maybe put out by the manufacturer, there may be more to it than that. So dig a little deeper and make sure you do your homework on some of these weird composites. Anyway, I'll put a link to this video, to this article. This video will be in the article, and all of those examples we just looked at will be at the bottom, along with this sheet, which are the standards for the way an SDS is formatted by OSHA. And it explains every section, you know, in more detail and things like that. Anyway, I hope that wasn't too long. And more importantly, I hope it helps and keeps everybody safe out there. Thanks.